Have you ever been curious what's the easiest pet to keep? Well, in this week's video, we're gonna be talking about an invert that we added to the Mangrove bowl that I think fits that category. Let's get into it. What's going on, reefers? Welcome back to another episode. My name's Blaine, and this is the King Tide Corals channel. In this week's episode, we're gonna be talking about our mangrove bowl, but before I get into that, I wanna shout out to someone in particular. That someone's you. I wanna thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel, checking out my videos, supporting me on Instagram and here, but also subscribing. You guys have shown me so much support, and the fact that I have 1,200 subscribers is unbelievable. I had originally set a goal of 2,500 subs by the end of 2021. I made that goal because I wanted to make it a pretty big and lofty goal. I didn't want it to be easy and very attainable. And in my mind, we're almost halfway there, and that's really amazing. So thank you to every single one of you, and mainly you that's watching me right now. So thanks again. Now back to the video. In this week's video, we're gonna talk a little bit about this new group that we just added to the mangrove bowl. They're a really cool invert, and some people would consider them to be super shrimp. Before I go into much more details, I wanna go ahead and just flash back to when we received the package and we got our new friends. Let's check it out.
Flashback.
Well, the day has arrived and the eBay box has gotten in. It actually was diverted, I believe, from Seattle down here to California, but as you guys can see, the red Hawaiian cherry shrimp are looking good. Really excited to actually add these to the mangrove system. Like we talked about before, we wanted to try and find something to add into this mangrove bowl, and these super shrimp are actually the perfect addition for something like this. Don't have any filtration, but I did add the air stone on the back. I believe that'll be good for both the mangroves and the shrimp in the long run. We'll see. I'll keep doing more research, but for the time being, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, check the salinity of that water, and also check the salinity of my mangrove bowl, and then I'll get right back with you. Now that we've gotten a chance to see the shrimp, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about them and get to know them. These shrimp are called Opae. They originate from Hawaii, and they're also known as Hawaiian red shrimp, volcano shrimp, and sometimes called super shrimp. These shrimp are super. They're pretty cool. They're probably the easiest pet to keep in the aquarium industry. They don't really require any filtration. They don't really require any food. They don't really require any love. They're pretty much the easiest shrimp to keep out there. One thing to know though is that they do tend to like brackish water. That's really where they're found in the wild over in the Hawaiian Islands. They like to sit around 1.010 salinity. That's exactly the salinity that they're sitting at in the mangrove bowl. These shrimp are really cool though, and I'm hoping that I can have them proliferate inside this bowl, maybe be able to breed and just do well. As for a lifespan, these shrimp can live to be 20 years old. If you guys know or have seen them at Brookstone or other little gift shops, there are little things called ecospheres. I'll put a picture up on the screen. Inside those little ecospheres normally are little tiny shrimp, and those shrimp are the Opae. The reason they do that is because, well, they're such a hardy shrimp, they can easily get away with adding those to an enclosed system. Now that we've gotten to know our shrimp a little bit better, let's get back to the video. One thing I wanted to do before I got to dripping these shrimp here, I wanted to test both the salinity of the water they came in and the salinity in here. So we're at 1.011, and then in here 1.010. Okay, one more time. 1.010. 1.010, okay. I'm still gonna bring water from the mangrove bowl down to the shrimp here. I'm gonna get that all set up and going and just get this about 3/4 the way up and then go ahead and get these shrimp into the bowl. Because of how low the salinity level was for this, or better yet, not low, but mirroring the same salinity as the mangrove bowl, we're gonna go ahead and just do a quick drip acclimation, probably get this up to 3/4, then once it's up to 3/4, we'll add these in. So we'll see you guys back in probably about 15 minutes.
15 minutes later.
All right, it's been about 15 minutes, so we'll go ahead and check out the salinity of everything. I highly recommend these salinity testers by Hannah. Just make sure you always recalibrate every once in a while. So coming in the mangrove tank, we have 1.010. And then in the shrimp bowl, we have 1.010. So right on the money here. What was the temperature as well? Pretty much same temperature too, 75.4. Right around that number. So let's go ahead now work on getting the shrimp into the bowl. The shrimp are added to the system. So let's go ahead and show you guys a little montage of all the Hawaiian shrimp now hanging out in their new home.
End of flashback.
Well, reefers, it's been about a month since we've added the shrimp to the bowl, and all is well. All of the shrimp are still intact and still happy and healthy, swimming around in their little bowl here, and everything seems to be doing really good. I'm happy about how this thing's turned out so far. I've added the heater, obviously, and the air stone in the back to be able to maintain good temperature for them, and then also add some oxygen as needed. They don't technically need it from all the research I've been doing, but I think it's gonna be good to have it. I did add a little bit of the food today as well. I haven't been adding it at all other than when I first added them to the bowl, but this is the first time I've added a little bit of food, so it's been a month since I've added anything, and I think it's gonna work out just fine. So overall though, everything's been really great for this bowl. We've gotten some really good new growth on our mangroves here, and being able to update you guys on this has been really fun. I will say this has probably been one of my favorite projects in recent time. It's just really simple, and in my opinion, it's just so aesthetically pleasing. I think it just fits this office completely. I think it kind of just ties it all together. Really excited to say that I will be receiving the livestock for the lagoon this week, so that's gonna be really exciting. But this video is about the Opae and how they've been doing. So once again, all are happy and well and alive, and the shrimp are really enjoying their new mangrove kingdom. The mangrove bowl has definitely been one of my favorite projects that I've done in recent years. This project's allowed me to kind of jump out of the box and try something completely out of the norm and new to me. It's a really great addition to the office, and I've really enjoyed having the mangroves and learning about their care and all different things about them as I've kept this. I'm gonna say to you guys right now, I'm not a genius about mangroves. I don't know a ton about them, but like you guys, I'm learning every single day in this hobby, and that's the beauty of this hobby, is that you're always able to learn and try out new things. One thing I will say though, I learned a ton of information recently about mangroves on Moki, Inappropriate Reefers' recent RAP New York show walkthrough. He was talking with him, Julian Sprung from Two Little Fishies. If you guys don't know who Julian Sprung is, get out from the rock you're living in. And he was talking with him about mangroves, and Julian started dropping some crazy knowledge bombs about these mangroves, and if you guys are interested, you definitely should check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Overall though, really been enjoying this little bowl. It's been so much fun to keep, and I hope you guys have liked it too. If you guys are interested in trying it out yourself, really simple, and you guys can check out the original first video I made and see how I did it. And until next week guys, happy reefing.